Hello and welcome back to Extraordinary Times. For those of you who don't recall, I am Jeremy, and well, this isn't the normal format. Usually we do the whole intro and I, would make jokes, but today is kind of a one-take day because I'm, again, frustrated with my computer. Apparently it likes AJ way better than it likes me, but that's okay. I, make it do work. Wink at AJ in the other room. Anyway, so first thing I want to talk about today is the Pakistani schoolgirl by the name of Malala Yousafzai, if I'm not butchering that too badly. She's the Pakistani girl who stood up for women's rights for the last 3 years, and the Taliban decided to shoot her in the head twice. But because she is a fighter, she did not give up just being shot in the head twice, and they have removed one of the bullets from her, and now she is on her way to the UK to be treated for the other, and generally get better so that she's not in Pakistan and able to be hit quite as easily by the Taliban again. So, I mean, that's a good day for her, and I'm really glad that she is, projected to do better and get better and still be able to stand up and be counted as an advocate for women, because I think that's really important, not just in America, but generally throughout the world. Women are devastatingly oppressed. So, yeah, really happy about that. Speaking of a woman who was being oppressed for doing a really good job at her job, we talked about the Swedish lunch lady who was being told, stop being so good at your job. Well, apparently, because there's been so much press, the school district is backpedaling and saying, you know what, just do your thing, just, quit making us look bad, essentially. So she can keep doing what she was doing, and maybe they'll raise the bar for other teacher or other lunch ladies, maybe, or not. Probably not, because it's the way things are. But the really cool, super awesome thing I wanted to talk about today was Felix Baumgartner, who we talked about over and over and over again, because he was supposed to be jumping back in August, jumping out of that balloon that was going to fly up 24 miles. And finally, on Sunday, the weather was perfect, and things were projected to be good, so he flew up and did his thing and survived. And there was some really crazy, really frightening moments there, but not the least of which being you could watch this poor man on the edge of space jump. I'd never be able to do that, so brass balls to you, man. Next up I wanted to talk about is a guy in Israel who decided cardboard isn't misused enough. It's not thrown away, or it's being thrown away too much, if I could get my words out. So he decided to figure out a way to make cardboard into a material that is suitable for cycling. Granted, it's not the most glamorous motorcycle in the world, or not motorcycle, bicycle in the world. It doesn't have all the frills and shocks and stuff like the one I have, but it's rudimentary enough to be used and be used anywhere. And he figured out a way to waterproof and fireproof the cardboard, allegedly, so it, not the first rainstorm comes down and all of a sudden it's unusable. I'm really, really excited to see where this goes, because if that goes places, then like cardboard trash can be recycled into even more usable things, and that's a cool thought. As Republican as I am, as much as people fault us for not being big on green stuff, recycling's a good idea. It always has been a good idea. Trash in our landfills is a horrible problem. But I want to move on to the next coolest thing in transportation that I saw today, which was amphibious vehicle by the name of the Quadski, which really is just a fancy name for a four-wheeler that also is a jet ski. This company, Gibbs Sports Amphibians Incorporated, is being run by this really crazy guy from New Zealand that's made all kinds of things in New Zealand, and then came over here and decided to pour a bunch of money into America. And well, he's making these $40,000 ATVs in Detroit now, trying to increase our economy up there. And these things are really cool because they go like 45 miles an hour on land, and then you can just kind of drive into water and keep going about 45 miles an hour on water, which is a really big deal because most amphibious vehicles before now have only been able to go like 10, 15 miles an hour in the water, and now he's making something awesome that will do awesome things, and you can, as you're cruising, you can hit, wheels down and put the wheels back down and then drive right back up onto land and keep doing what you're doing. So, awesome news in the transportation circuit for those of us who like things with handlebars. But also, sorry, speaking of making money in America, the Postal Service, our United States Postal Service, has really not done a good job of making money, and they're teetering on what we like to call insolvency. They don't really pay their bills at all, and even though they're a federally funded company, but they're being saved at least this month from insolvency because of election mailers and things that are just, they're paying top dollar to send all these things out, and so the Postal Service is actually getting a lot of money for sending all this stuff out, and they're starting to pay their bills as long as hackery is still around in news mailers. But the last thing I wanted to talk about today is that a study by the Pew Research Center has shown that less than a quarter of Americans now read newspapers, like newspaper papers. It's kind of sad, and thinking about it like that, like 1 in 4 people are informed at all. But then you think about it, and in the same study, over 50% of Americans still love to read. They just don't read paper anymore. They go to digital media sources like their phones or computers, and they read, and even more than that, use digital media to just get their news. They watch, they listen, and for that we thank you. Really, just, as long as people are informed, as long as you are informed in some way, it makes me glad. It makes me hopeful for the future, and I'm going to stop talking now because I feel like I've been rambling on and on, as I always say. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep the conversation going, go into the comment section, and we do comment back, usually with a pretty decent turnaround rate so we can actually have a conversation. So, keep that going on, and like and subscribe, and, keep sharing us with your friends. We really appreciate it. And until next time, as always, be aware. Okay, turn off. Come on. Thank you.